disappointed with the way we played in the second half, but certainly give Michigan credit. I thought they were terrific in the second half. I thought they beat us in every phase of the game in the second half. I thought Denal was a real difference today, obviously with 26-9, and I thought he had great toughness today. I thought his energy level, his passion, his emotion in the second half, we needed to have a little bit more of that ourselves. I thought the first half that, I'll be honest, we were up 3, and I felt like we should have been up a little bit more. We made a couple game plan mistakes that led to some threes, but I thought all in all we played really well. I thought defensively the first 5 minutes were about as good as we defended. I thought we were really good. They made some adjustments, and then we made some as well. And it was kind of a game like that. But their guys made plays. I thought LeVert was terrific. As important as his 22 points or his 10 assists. I mean, I thought Denal was the recipient of a lot of those assists that he had today. And, the game was really decided in about a 4 or 5 minute stretch there. It was 45-44, and then it was a 16-4 run by Michigan over about 4.5 minutes. And then from there, you're scrambling, trying to come from behind. I thought that our guys, at least some of our guys, fought a little bit. I didn't like I thought their toughness was better in the second half. I thought their effort as a team was better in the second half. I thought they played with more emotion in the second half. And, we've got to respond to, adversity a little bit better than we did in the second half. I thought we did that in St. Louis. I was a little bit disappointed that we went backwards with that. But, we've got obviously another one coming here on Sunday. Got 3 days of practice, and we've got to get ready to go. And in this league, the next one's coming fast. So you got to have amnesia one way or the other. So, tomorrow we'll come in and, we'll learn what we need to learn from today's game. I'm sure there'll be plenty. And then we got to get ready to play Ohio State on Sunday. Ultimately, these two guys up here, and then Tracy and Malcolm and myself, have to take responsibility, and we have to figure some things out. And we can play better than we certainly did in the second half. We have played better than we did in the second half. But again, not to take anything away from Michigan, because I thought they were exceptional in the second half, defensively, rebounding, shot making, execution. So certainly give them credit. Questions for the players?
Kendrick, Coach was talking about just the lack of emotion and needing more from captains. What do you think was lacking there, and why?
I think the lack was just coming out in the second half and giving all we got. We had we kind of known for slow starts in the second half, but we got to pick that up.
Jaylon, just what's your perspective on this? We talk about coaches saying captains got to pick this up as well. Just what do you guys have to do to make sure this trend, which is about 7 games in a row here where you're struggling in second halves, doesn't happen?
Well, we've been pretty much starting off the first half defensively pretty good, and just finishing out the first half pretty good. But like I said, we gotta start off the second half good too, and we keep letting our foot off people and letting them come back, and that's something that's going to catch up to us like it did today.
This is for either of you guys. Do you think it was just the fact that everybody was keying in on Robinson too much during the year, that Denal was left out, and that's why he scored so many points today?
I'm assuming you mean LeVert. Is keying on LeVert? Is that what you meant there? Or are you talking about Duncan Robinson?
Duncan Robinson.
Okay.
No, I don't think so at all. Our game plan was to not let him shoot threes, and I think we did a pretty good job at that. And Cass LeVert did a good job diming Denal up for some pick and rolls, and that's how pretty much he got his points.
I guess for either one of you, in the first half, a lot of you guys were attacking the basket pretty well, and then again did that late in the second half. But do you feel like sometimes you just start to rely a little too much on three-point shooting, or where do you kind of see the offense like that?
No, not really. We're a three-point shooting team. We're gonna shoot threes. We're gonna read the defense, and that's what we did.
Yeah, we just took what the defense gave us. A lot of those shots we missed, we usually make. But once again, it's on the defensive end. You know, we miss shots and we getting stops, then it'll be all right. But you know, we missed some shots and they were making shots. We weren't getting any stops on defense.
Jaylon, you played a career high 34 minutes today. You know, with your roster getting shorter and shorter, just how did you respond to that, and how is your team responding to that right now?
You know, Coach has the saying, the next man up. And, you know, we've been going through that the whole year, and we're not going to use that as an excuse. You know, everybody has to step up and be an NBA All-Star in their role. And, you know, I just took what the defense gave me. I was aggressive, whether it was for myself or for my teammates. And we just got to be better on defense is the main thing as a group.
Jaylon, you're maybe not unfamiliar with being the lone healthy point guard. Just what do you feel like you need to do in that role to help your team if until Khalid is able to come back?
I mean, just do what I did. Be aggressive. You know, do whatever the coaches and my teammates need me to do. And it's not just me; it's the whole group. You know, everybody has to step up and contribute on the offensive and defensive end.
That all for the players? Okay. We'll let them go and continue here with Coach.
Coach,
Before I answer questions, I do, because Shannon asked me a question yesterday about Khalid. Tuck brought something up about him as well. Before I answer questions about the game, I want to let you guys know I respect you greatly, so much so that I'm usually pretty open. I've got a couple people that think I'm too open about injuries and so forth. It just did not make sense yesterday for me to share the name until I knew it was out there 24 hours before tipping against Michigan and giving them a game plan advantage. That was the only reason why I didn't say it. It wasn't out of disrespect to Shannon. I certainly respect her and Tup and all you guys out there. And I know you have a job to do, which in large part is why I do share some things with you and, and usually pretty open about those things. But, that was my decision. As my dad said to me yesterday, he got a big kick out. He said, well, at least you were honest. You just didn't tell who it was. I certainly try to be that way with you, but I want you to understand I respect certainly, what you guys do. I know you have a job to do, which a lot of times that's why I like to share it with you, and I know your job's to cover us and know what's going on, but I just didn't see any sense in doing that 24 hours before the tip. If they know that changes pick and roll coverage, that changes game planning, that changes strategy, and that doesn't help my guys in the Fighting Illini. So it's nothing personal with any of you guys or you, Shannon. Okay, questions?
I didn't take it that way, but let me follow up with that then, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Can you say when he was diagnosed?
This week, right when he got back. He did practice one time, and then, he just kind of got surprised by it a little bit. I did mean when I said to Tup and that I'm not necessarily a mumps expert. Some of the stuff we've gone through is just like, you think you've seen it all, and then it just like, whoa, But I'll let, as I always say, Schmitty and the doctors take care of all that, and they'll let me know when he's healthy and available. Is there a chance he could be for Sunday? Certainly. But a lot of that just depends on his status and how they evaluate him. And I don't know how they evaluate all that stuff. I'm going to leave that up to the doctors and Paul Schmidt, our trainer.
I understand like it's a 5-day isolation period at least. How many days has
hope.
he been in that kind of situation?
That's a great question. At least 3, I think. Yeah.
And
3.
is there a way to ensure the rest of the team? I mean, it's a highly contagious.
Yeah, we've
thing,
all
is it?
had vaccinations.
And he wasn't vaccinated, or is there?
What's that?
And he wasn't, or
He was not.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that? Sorry to keep harping on this, but how did that happen? Because it's
Well, we've had some outbreaks on campus, obviously. They've been well documented. And certainly he wasn't here, this summer when all that was going on, or before we went to Europe, or while that was going on. And we took the appropriate measures based on what we thought was smart to do that. We got back. Unfortunately for us, I think, at least someone told me, I may be wrong here, but I guess there were a few outbreaks maybe right before the holidays. I'd heard that. I don't know how, there's not been a whole lot of them when you think of a campus that's however large we are, 35, 40,000. Someone said today there's like 70 people. What are the odds? And let's put it this way, I'm looking forward to the new year starting
So
on the 31st at midnight.
there's a month for, I think it's like a state law for them to be vaccinated. So does this just kind of fall through the cracks, or?
Well, I
did you
think
not
he's
get
had
it?
one before. It's not like he's never had
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I don't want.
Before you come to, I think.
Yeah, you have to have all that taken care of. We just would like to. We gave our guys extra ones.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is what it is. I mean, it just, that it happened. There's not anything we can do about it at this point. Obviously, I know he was disappointed. He was looking forward to playing in his first, Big Ten opener, but he's got pretty good outlook about it, and he is. I talk to him obviously frequently here, and so hopefully we get him back sooner than later.
All right, sorry to monopolize the microphone, but just to the game is, you sounded like you were really disappointed in the leadership. What was it?
Just the
communication
second half, I
effort?
didn't think we
Yeah.
played with the same, emotion, effort, toughness that I'm accustomed to seeing from our team, or certainly that I saw even in St. Louis when I thought we had great poise and composure. When we had a little bit of a drought there offensively, we missed 3 free throws in St. Louis with guys that normally make them, and we missed 2 or 3 layups, and but we were able to continue to defend and had it's kind of a coach's instinct or feeling, Shannon, about his guys. I just felt like we were still locked in during that and really playing with great passion and energy and toughness. And I thought we started out the game that way today for sure, and I thought we played that way the bulk of the first half. Those guys alluded to it. I didn't like our start to the second half at all. I called the quick timeout. I didn't like that at all. I did think we picked it up a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's 45-44, as I mentioned earlier, and they go on a 16-4 run in about 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and that really was the difference in the game.
John, I know basketball tends to be a game of runs, but trend of 7 of 8 halves you've lost here. I know you guys have tried to attack it, different things. Dustin changing how you guys work out coming out of the half, but what have you tried to do to stop that trend?
Well, obviously, the first thing you do is you acknowledge it, and then we talk about making sure that we're more locked in, that we're more just as hyped up to start the second half as you are the first half. I think that's certainly responsibility of, like I said, myself and the captains. We've continued to try to fight it. And, I think we've had some, when we say that, it's interesting because some of them have been to start second halves like it was today. Some of them haven't been the start of the second half. Maybe it's like for Missouri, for example, it's like a 4-minute war in the middle of the second half, where that one was a little bit of an outlier because I didn't think in that one we necessarily allowed that, like, hey, there's things we could control that, that's why they came back. I thought we missed shots. I thought we took care of the ball in St. Louis during that stretch. I thought we defended our butts off. I thought we were really locked in for 40 minutes in that one. Today I didn't feel that way. I didn't like the way that we looked in the second half.
John, you said yesterday that Michigan would probably find a way to pick on certain things, maybe people, matchups, whatever. Is that what happened inside? You don't have the shot blocker with Big Mike out right now and so forth?
Obviously we're small,
Right.
and we're going to see a lot bigger teams than Michigan, as you know, Top, moving forward. We've got who we've got. I mean, I'm not going to make any excuses. We got to figure that out. We got to be a little bit better. We got to get it done by committee. I've been saying that for a while. Obviously, Thorne was our leading rebounder and has a gift in that area. And then Black led the Big Ten in rebounds per minute played with Brandon Dawson last year. I mean, sure, I'd like, would they address some of the reboundings? I mean, you guys are smart people out there. Sure. But they're not out there. So I don't see that changing right now. So we better figure it out and block out better and try to stay out of rotation a little bit more. And, everybody's got to participate in defensive rebounding in particular. And we've emphasized that. And we've talked about that. And we've done more things to address that in practice. And, I felt very comfortable with our preparation for the game. I thought Jamal did just a great job. And I thought the guys were excited to play. And I liked our game plan, and I thought we executed it pretty well in the first half. We made a couple mistakes here and there that led to some threes. That's why I thought maybe we could have been up by just maybe at least two or three possessions instead of one. But second half we just weren't as we weren't quite as good down at that end of the floor defensively, and then we missed some shots as well, and then obviously it compounded a little bit during that 16-4 run.
Talking about again, you had a good game plan coming out. Seems like defensively you've done a really good job in the first half. Is the second half, I mean, obviously they go in, they make adjustments.
Sure.
Is it hard for your kids, maybe because they're young and inexperienced, some of them to understand the adjustments you want to make in a 10-minute halftime?
That's too smart of a question. Yes. Next question. Yeah, no question about it. Yeah. It's kind of a little bit what Jeremy was saying earlier. I mean, I'm not very patient with stuff. I mean, I call it trying to be aggressively patient, but, someone tried to remind me the other day about youthful teams and second halves and all that. I don't want to hear that garbage. We got who we got right now. Okay, it's not changing. Those freshmen aren't going to all of a sudden be made juniors with a magic wand. They better figure it. We got to figure it out. Just got to figure it out.
On your chart that you keep for all the plays and all the possessions, how does the zone press look this far into the season in terms of effectiveness?
Depends on games. Certain games. It depends on the game and the opponent. There's some games it's been very, very effective. I thought at times today it was effective. Then there's maybe a possession or two where they get you, but I think it's something we can build on for sure. I think it fits our team and where we're at right now.
Coach, Jaylon will be your lone point guard for however long until Khalid's back. What did you like from him today, and what do you may need to see
I thought he
moving
practiced
forward?
really well the last 2 days, and Jaylon never says anything. He's not going to give you an excuse, but the reality of it is that the last 2 days he was able to practice just with his fingers buddy taped with tape, which is a big difference than having a small board in there on your dominant hand. Now, he's not going to say that because he didn't even say that to me. I love that about the kid. But, do that to your dominant hand right now and see how that works for you. And I knew that was going to make a big difference. He was ready to take that next step, and the doctors and trainers cleared him to just have it like buddy tape like normal with nothing else in there, and he was really good the last 2 days in practice. I thought he brought tremendous energy. I thought he played the position very well, and I thought all in all today, obviously he played a lot of minutes for us, but I thought he did a good job at both ends of the floor today.
I guess one more thing. When Kendrick says, we're kind of known for slow starts in the second half, what's your reaction to that? Because, I assume that's maybe not something
we got
you'd
to
like
be better
to be known
at that,
for.
obviously. We got to be better. I don't know so much. They don't study it as much as sometimes they read too much of what's written. They don't study it quite like we study it, meaning, like, for example, certain games, as I mentioned to Jeremy earlier there, like, we started the second half fine. Then we had a 4-minute stretch or 5-minute stretch where we didn't. Today it happened to be the start of the second half, We've got to be better. Guys got to play 40 minutes. Got to play 40 minutes. They've got to be able to sustain consistency over the course of 40 minutes and try to win every possession. Every possession matters. And I think that's certainly a learning curve involved a little bit with that with some of the younger guys, not taking a possession off, not relaxing defensively, not coming out of your stance. The same switch you did in the first half that you just botched in the second half. Why'd that happen? Concentration, ability to sustain, effort and concentration for 40 minutes is really what it boils down to.
You're asking a lot out of Malcolm Hill, obviously, but you expect a lot. Just what did you see out of him tonight?
I didn't think he played very well today. Obviously they really were locked in on him, and I thought they did a good job defending him. But I've certainly seen him play better, and we're going to need him to play better moving forward.
Coach, how concerning is it to not have that effort and toughness, especially against a team that punched you in the mouth last March and kept you out of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, no question. The first half, though, I thought we had it, and I don't think it was necessarily a deal where our guys weren't ready to play or didn't want to play. They did. They prepared. They had great practices. I thought we got off to a great start. Thought we defended well. We did turn it over early. I thought, us and them are known for not turning the ball over. I think they had 10 at the half, and we had 8. That's a lot for them. That's a lot for us. I thought we just had, I don't know how he felt about his turnovers, but certainly the ones how I felt about them was we just had some where we were trying to make some plays that were not there. But yeah, we got to work on sustaining it for 40 minutes. We do, and we've got to get better at that. I thought we did that in the Missouri game. That's why I was anxious to see if we could sustain it today. And I don't have the same feeling about the way we played today in the second half as, let's say, I did against Providence or I did against Missouri, where I thought we really battled. Maybe things didn't go our way during a stretch of the second half, or we hit a drought or whatever, but I thought we battled. Today I just, have to watch the tape. I felt we did that for about 20 minutes, but I didn't like. I just thought they were tougher in the second half, and I thought they looked like they had a lot of guys that have been there before, and they do, obviously. I don't even know if the kid played today. Wagner, he did. Yeah, he played 4 minutes. So they had one freshman play 4 minutes. So they had some guy. I respect their team, and they got to. Those kids have been in some big time moments, and they're older, and they look like that in the second half. Our young guys have got to get that figured out, and the sooner the better.